prefer to go by Ray or Ray?
Ray.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
What we'd like to do is learn a little bit more about your background and your qualifications. So we've got some questions that we'll walk through. Some by me that are kind of general, and then others that most of you will ask as it relates specifically to some of the more technical or clinical aspects of the job as well. Okay. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about why you've chosen the degree program that you have and why this job is of interest to you?
My sophomore year is when I started to research what I really wanted to do in the field, because I knew I couldn't just go be a psychologist, and so you had to have specific areas, what you wanted to do, and so I found industrial organizational psychology. It deals more with in the business and human resources and working kind of like with the employees and like the behaviors, and so like that really interested me. Not more so really wanting to do counseling, but kind of really wanted to work with like leadership and helping build a company and shape the employees as well as like the executives and the way they run a company and how they work with people and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what really interested me, and so from there on like I've pursued it to that.
So what's your ideal job?
Until I go into master's school, I don't know exactly.
So let's assume you've finished all your schooling.
Yeah. I mean, for what I've looked into, until I go through the schooling and figure out if it's something else, it's mostly, it's called executive coaching. And so I'd work with like the executives and kind of coach them into like their business and how they work with their employees and kind of like just personally like with themselves and helping them grow. So far, that's what I've looked into doing.
Okay. And how will you qualify yourself for that separate from a degree?
Mostly, just getting in there and getting the experience and being able to work with some organizations and building on those leadership and kind of human resource skills. I've got to do that a little bit with now Circles. I've got to kind of go in and also kind of like shadow Gina and see like what she does and working with organizations. And so mostly it's just gonna be the experience to really get in there, because without the master's work you don't really know the whole field and what you're supposed to do until you actually get in there. So aside from that, it would just be experience.
Okay. And why is this job of interest to you?
I like the fact that I get to work with people and kind of develop them and help them achieve like their success, kind of as well as mine. And so I just kind of like the interaction and just being with people and being able to help them and with their jobs and make them better at their jobs. So.
Tell us a little bit about your work experience.
The past jobs that I've had have kind of always just been general ones, like I've worked in retail, I've worked in the restaurant industry, I've worked with volleyball and done camps, I've done coaching, and so it's kind of just a big broad spectrum. I've kind of like been in each field, and so that's kind of also helped me figure out for summertime and like when I'm off to help figure out what kind of job that I wouldn't mind kind of having that would help me get to that area. And so recently I've been doing a lot of coaching, which I think kind of goes with what I want to do, because I'm coaching these people. And so I've had a lot of comments, people tell me that you should be coaching, and I tell them I would love to, even though it doesn't make any money, but this is kind of my interest now, and so I think that kind of goes along with it.
Okay. Tell us about a time when you had to deal with a coworker or a fellow student whose style was completely different from yours. Tell us a little bit about the challenges that it created and how you handled it.
This is actually pretty good, because the coach that I work with, the head coach right now, we both have a very intense style of coaching, so we're on the same page with that, but when it comes to actually teaching the girls the different techniques and stuff like that, sometimes his are a lot different, and so to me it can be very hard sometimes to work with a person who wants to change something, but you just got done playing, so you understand more of what should be done. And so sometimes like I either just kind of take a step back and just kind of let him do his style because, you know, he is the head coach, or I try to collaborate with him and say, you know, where can we come with, I mean, or explain to him, hey, this is better because, you know, and I think this will be more effective. And then I show him with the girls and let them do it, and then he sees and understands, you know, okay, yeah, that does work better. And so it's more of just, it's a lot of communication. You have to be able to talk with the person and say, hey, you know, what can we do to change this, or where can we meet in the middle on this?
So in that kind of interaction, when you're saying, hey, coach, this way's better, have you been proven wrong?
I don't think so far yet. I mean, if I am, I would like admit to him and say, okay, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I think that is a lot better. I think what is kind of made it easier is I've just finished college volleyball, and I've been around the sport a lot longer playing than he has kind of been out of it for a while, and so I think that's kind of helped me mentor the girls a lot better, and he kind of understands that too. And so a lot of times he'll be like, okay, here, you teach them this, you know, you understand it better, so.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about your favorite professor. What was that person's style?
Well, I haven't had very many professors here because of the psychology program, but I would say Professor View. Just mostly because I'm not a very, let's watch a PowerPoint and let's do a test. Like, I'm not a very good test taker, and so like with him, it's more of interacting. We have speakers come in, and so I learn better from that way because I get to hear actually what they do and understand what they do a lot better. And so I think that's kind of helped me into the college setting, especially because like we don't get to directly do what my field is, and so some of the classes that we've taken have kind of geared towards it, and so it's made me enjoy it more. And so I would just say, you know, having him in the speakers and the fact that he like makes people really interact with each other and interacts with us.
Okay. When you consider the possibility of this job, what creates the most apprehension or nervousness for you about it, and why?
Probably because I haven't had full-on real experience, you know, into exactly where I want to go into, and so just the fact that I know it is going to take a long time to like really learn what I need, you know, and like retain all that information and, you know, do it effectively. I mean, I know in the end I will do it, you know, the way it's supposed to be done and what they expect. It's just in the meantime getting there and making sure I do all of it because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to mess up. I want to perfect it. So.
Other questions?
I know that, you know, that you said that you're looking at a master's degree later on, but if I were to ask you today what qualifies you, let me just ask you today, for working with people in the social service industry, what qualifies you to do that? How would you describe that, your qualifications?
Mostly it would be experience. Schoolwork, I mean, I really haven't got to do a whole lot of that. I've taken maybe 2 or 3 classes that kind of gear towards it, so I know kind of, you know, the material and what's expected of it, but mostly the experience. I think this year really getting to work with like Circles and some of the other organizations, as well as like higher up coaching, I think that's really kind of helped me, I guess, like sort of get into there and what I need to be doing. And so I would say, yeah, definitely experience.
So I've heard you mention Circles several times. What is that?
Circles is a nonprofit organization. Gina Elias is who started it up, and she works with basically helping people kind of develop like their way out of poverty, and just be able to use like their resources and what they have and the tools. And so she kind of helps give them that, and they go through each classes and which kind of helps them figure out like different ways that they can kind of build and get out of poverty. And so they have like big view meetings and stuff on Thursdays, and so that allows the students to be able to come and they get to put in their input and kind of see, you know, from a younger standpoint, kind of like what we're facing too as well. And we also learn from the people who are going through it. I know, like for me, it helps me see, you know, okay, well, maybe I don't need to do that or that, and I can stay out of poverty that way, so.
And did you volunteer at that program?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Originally when we started, it was basically we just had to go to the meetings, and it was like 4 of them, and you know, going in, you're like, okay, let's just get this over and done with. But by the time I got in there and really they started talking about everything and all the people there, and then I just got hooked on it, and so I started going to all of the meetings, you know, as much as I could, you know, with my schedule, and I think I've been going for almost 2 years now, and so it was just really interesting to kind of get in there and kind of, like for me, I get to work with people, and I feel like I'm helpful and I'm included because, you know, Gino asked me, well, hey, you know, what should we do here, or do you think this is good? And so she's just kind of been helping me with that, and then we're supposed to help her start up a Facebook page for circles now. They've changed, and kind of just get their stuff on the website and kind of tell people about them and kind of help them out. So.
Sounds very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Why would you be the best candidate for this job?
Because over the years, I've grown as a person and an individual, and you know, my overall experience, and I think I'm very driven, and it's, you know, over the years I've gotten to that point to where, you know, I have the leadership skills, and when I really get in the setting, you know, I really go to work and I really do want to do my job, you know, the best that I can, and I want to be successful, and, you know, and I want the company, you know, to want me there because, you know, I really do help their company, you know, just individually and as a whole, so.
Sounds like you did that at Circles.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
I think so.
Anything else that we ought to know about your qualifications?
Just that I'm really interested in the job, and I think I can really benefit the company, and if you do decide to have me, then I would really appreciate it and help you out.
Well, we'd like to meet with you again on Thursday at the same time, and we'll go over why or why not we think you deserve the job.
Give you some good feedback.
Yeah, we'll give you feedback.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming
All
in
right,
this
well,
morning.
thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.